Hi, I'm Percy.
And I'm Hannah Rubenstall, the crafter here at Fanciful Spaces. Thank you for joining us while I share with you how I created a 4th of July wreath utilizing wire, decorations you find this time of year at your craft stores, and cardstock from cutcardstock.com. Who is this goof? I don't know. All right, I hope you enjoy. Have a great day.
Bye.
All right, so to start my wreath, I wanted to have a star center. So I went online and I found an image of a star. I enlarged it to about the size that I wanted it, and I'm using that to help guide my shaping of the wire. Now, I am using, I think, 22 gauge wire, so it's really, really flimsy or thin. So in order to help provide the stability that I needed to start the frame, I doubled up the length of my wire. And here I am just taping it onto the table and onto my paper in order to help keep that shape. Then, once that shape is all done and I've sort of got it laid out the way I want to, I'm just going to continuously wrap a whole bunch of wire around the star that I've created, trying to keep the shape in mind. However, not worrying too much about it because I'll be able to alter it and fix it a lot later. Wrapping the wire around is definitely going to help add some stability and some thickness to the star so that in my next step, when I attach it to my circular frame, it's going to be a lot easier to work with.
Cool.
You like that, Bug?
Yeah.
All right. So this is the first time I've ever done a star wreath with wire. I have previously done a lot of hearts. Hearts are really easy because their shape just is super easy to work with. Stars are a little bit more difficult. If you're like me, I can't draw a star to save my life.
Me either.
You can't either, Buggy?
No, I can draw stars with sticks, but not that kind of star.
Yeah, so it's super hard. So that's why having this template is a quick and easy cheat to help make sure that I stay in line and I don't create some amorphous blob. Was that funny?
Yeah.
She thought it was funny. So once I get to doing the wire frame, I am going to somewhat center my star in the center of it. And at each of the points, I am going to affix it with wire to the frame. And this allows me to make sure that my star is going to be centered and to make sure that I have even displacement of tugging force on it. And then very carefully, I'm just going to wrap the wire like 1,000 times over and over it until I get a really good base going on. One of the really cool things about this project was because I'm using silver wire and my frame, my wreath frame is copper colored, I needed it to be one base standard color. And I considered doing silver and I considered doing white, but I went to one of my favorite shops, the Upcycle Parts Shop here in Cleveland. They're a reduce, reuse, recycle facility for arts and crafts. And I was lucky enough to score a can of primer spray paint in white. So I didn't have to go to the store and buy a whole new can of spray paint. I spent $1.25 on this can, and what somebody would have thrown out, I could reuse in this project right here. So I encourage everyone to check out and see if they have an upcycle store near you, and see if maybe there are products there at the store that you can utilize in your crafting. And I'd like to apologize for the writing on my hand. My little partner in crime here had written something on it, probably something inappropriate for the video.
It wasn't.
But I apologize nonetheless. That's what happened.
Part of it was I am a baby. And I know 2 + 2.
I don't know how she remembers these things, but I'm pretty sure she's right. This is what happens when the kiddo is home from school in the summertime. So here I am just wrapping the wire around like I showed you. And the next step after this is done is I'm going to spray paint it with that really awesome find that I found at the Upcycle Parts Shop. Next, I'm going to take my cardstock and an SVG file that I had found on Etsy saying the land of the free because of the brave. I believe that's the sentiment. And I didn't have a really great blue in my pop tone cardstock that I wanted. That's not to say this is actually my favorite blue, but it wasn't right for the project. So I took some Catherine Pooler's Something Borrowed blue ink and my super favorite Change Your Life brushes from, where are they from, Buggy? I can't remember for the life of me. I'll link it down below, or in the blog post rather. Sorry about that. These Change Your Life brushes are really great for thin die cuts and SVG cuts like this, because the paper is really, really delicate. And all I did is, I'm not worrying too much about how even I'm going to be. That dye is going to disperse a little bit more, and I'm totally intending on spritzing it with some Lindy's Starburst sprays afterwards, which is going to help that pigment even more. Now, when I do the land, I decided to do a gradient from the bottom to the top to help add, to help make it visually more interesting in the frame, to bring your eye to the center of that wreath. That's the excuse I use. Really what happened was I started doing it and I kicked myself afterwards for not doing it on the word because, and I decided to make an excuse to make it work. Here we have the word land. Isn't that so pretty, that ombre look, Bug?
Yeah.
And the word because, and I am spraying it with Lindy's Starburst spray. This is going to help make any defects in my ink dusting be basically non-existent. It's going to add a lot of shimmer and glimmer to the project and a lot more visual interest to it. And here is my sentiment. I adhered it onto some acetate, clear acetate, in order to help make it look bulletproof like you couldn't see. And all of my accoutrement on the wreath, I not only wired down, but I also hot glued, like you could see in that picture, to help make it more stable. The best thing is that those items help hide the battery pack for the lights. Did you like that project, Buggy?
Yeah.
All right, don't touch the microphone, kiddo. People can hear when you touch it. My name's Hannah Rubenstall. I thank you very much for joining me, and go over to check cutcardstock.com out. They have a really great cardstock. All right, bye.
Bye.